So good morning for the March 2023 Core Entry Open Office Hour. I want to begin by showing you some recent changes that were made in PAHMIS related to core entry referrals. Our goal is to really improve our system data and information on what happens after us make a referral to a provider in PAHMIS. So these changes are really focused on helping providers more than anything more easily and clearly document what happens as a result of a referral from core entry. At the same time, I will show core entry specialists how you can see the results of those referral outcomes once they've been provided to one of our partners in the continuum of care. So let me start. I'm going to share my screen and show you a fake client and a fake provider, as we usually do during this process. And so here is a client that has previously been enrolled in our Category 2 program a few times because they were experiencing an imminent risk of homelessness and were referred to homeless prevention and possibly given a shelter referral just in case, but are currently enrolled in our active core entry program for Category 1, literally homeless / Category 4, and we want to make a referral to an emergency shelter. So I'm going to actually go through this referral simply for the sake of making sure that when we look at a fake provider dashboard, there's a brand new referral to look at. So event type, referral to emergency shelter bed opening. You'll note is new as of last week, early March, is that it's required when you're making a core entry referral to select the project or the program in core entry that the referral is coming from. This is an important link. This previously was optional, but if it's not selected, two things can't happen. One, it's the provider receiving the referral may receive an error message when trying to report the referral outcome. And second, it's not complete data for our HUD required core entry annual performance review report. So it's important now to select the enrollment, and typically the active enrollment will be at the top of the list, and that would be the one you'd be referring into or from. Refer to provider. Of course, this is our standard search screen. I'm going to make this referral to a fake provider intentionally. And as per usual, if you're going to send a referral email notification, you would check this box. But we, as core entry specialists on this side, you would never select a referral result or a referral date. So once you've selected the provider to refer to, you hit save, the referral's made, and you can see that there's an open referral result column. And this is a little tricky because there's actually two kinds of referral outcomes. One is called outcome, and that is a list that I will show you of possible outcomes that we as the Eastern Pennsylvania Continuum of Care have decided for ourselves. And the purpose of a referral outcome, and I'll show you again that list in it shortly, is for us to understand trends in referrals being made in our system. Every one of those, and you're maybe familiar with those, they include service provided, service not provided, client ineligible, no-show, cancellation. So you may be familiar with that list, but we've recently expanded that list in PAHMIS, and I've developed a cheat sheet, if you will, that we'll be distributing after this office hour, but I'll preview that for you, that defines what those different outcomes are. That's for our internal purposes as a continuum of care. There are also HUD-defined referral results. So the difference is referral outcome is our long list of definitions. Referral result is HUD's definition, and that's what we're actually reporting to HUD, and they only have three options. One is enrollment referral accepted, referral rejected by provider, and referral rejected by client. So what we've done behind the scenes is take that long list of our custom outcomes and linked each one automatically to one of those three HUD results. What you will see on this list once a referral has been processed and you return to it, if you are a core entry specialist, is that the HUD result will be populated. So you're only going to see in this list accepted, rejected by provider, rejected by client. We can in the future consider expanding this so that you can also see the custom referral outcome. That's one of our design requests coming up in the future, but it's not there yet. So in the future, hopefully you'll be able to see that custom list of referral outcomes, which one was selected by the provider, as well as the HUD result. And the purpose of having these columns here under core entry events is if a household head of household is contacting you again and saying something to the effect of, you made a referral for me, but either they rejected me or I didn't want that program didn't meet my needs or something else happened, the program was full. You'll have more information to send more accurate referrals the second or third time around. And I would just share that for core entry specialists for now, if you really want to know what that referral outcome is from our custom lists, you could find it from this menu. You'd have to go outside of our core entry workflow, go into enrollment and services, click referrals, and you would see this result would actually list our referral outcome result. Having said that, please don't ever make a referral from this list outside of our core entry menu. This referral will not be recorded for our core entry HUD report. So this is for informational reference only for now. If you want to know what that custom outcome was and not just the HUD accepted or rejected, you could go down to enrollment and services referrals. But always return to the core entry menu to do any sort of intake or update or another referral from core entry. You'd always use CE services. So having said all that, we've made this referral. And if I were the fake provider receiving the referral, if you're not familiar with this, all of our providers have a dashboard in HMIS. They use this dashboard to process new referrals made to their programs. So this is what their dashboard looks like after we've made the referral. And I think I need to refresh to see the most recent one. Okay, there's the one I just made from our fake client to their emergency shelter program. So their dashboard was updated recently and is much more user-friendly and helpful. If this icon select client would, if one clicked this, they would go right through to the client dashboard. If they click this is a shortcut to recording the referral outcome. And then this is information around what referral service type was made, what referral date was made. And then as they start to populate data about the referral itself, this information will populate. So again, referral outcome is our custom list. HUD CE event is that accepted or rejected only. CE event is a code number, and that's an HMIS data standard used by HUD. And actually all of these referrals types have one of these numbers. So this is a reference, an additional reference point. So for example, every emergency shelter bed referral, not only in our COC, but nationwide, is called CE event 10. The reason these numbers matter is that certain CE events require an outcome according to HUD, and others it's optional. So 10 through 15 is required. And those programs are any program that essentially is a bed-based or a housing-based program. That's just for your information. That is not something core entry specialists need to memorize or worry about. And again, this is really for core entry specialists to see what happens after they make a referral, but also if you are participating in this office hour or watching this recording because you are responsible for recording referral outcomes for your provider, this is how you would be doing it now. And so you click referral outcome. Technically, you would enter the date acknowledge. This is we acknowledging that we've received the referral because we logged in and looked at it today. If there is an appointment scheduled for the client related to the referral, that information could be added here under date and time. But the most important thing for our providers and what's required by HUD is to record the date at which the referral was processed. And so let's say I was able to engage this client today and bring them in either for an appointment or a walk-in and attempt to enroll them. So this is the current list of the results that might happen as a result of me attempting that enrollment with the client. And again, we have a table that lists this that I'll be distributing widely, but essentially service provided is successful enrollment into a program. Service not provided, did not meet client needs, the program as described. This means the client did not feel like this was going to meet their need, and so they declined or rejected their referral. Service not provided, ineligible. Once I'm attempting to enroll them in the project, it turns out they don't meet one or more eligibility criteria, which could be based on income, demographics, category of homelessness, etc. These are new, service not provided, because the program or beds were full. So that will be important to court entry specialists. When you can easily view this outcome, you'll have a sense that, okay, this program was full. Typically, if a program is full long-term, we want the provider to notify us, meaning either myself as the court entry consultant, one of our court entry regional managers, or Tony Diaz as our HMIS administrator, that the program is closed to new referrals. And we actually, when we're notified, we turn the provider dashboard off and it won't even populate in a court entry specialist search as an active project to refer to. Then there's service not provided. Program was full, but the client was placed on a waiting list. So, and again, these are meant to help our court entry managers and all of our COC members understand what happened with that referral. Information only means that the referral was for the provider just to give any sort of information about other services, referrals to community services like a food bank or a food pantry, for example, and it wasn't intended for enrollment into a program. Information only is the only one of this entire list that would not be reported to HUD because it's neither rejected or accepted. And so if this is ever recorded as the result, you will never see a HUD result populate on that HUD CE report column. It'll be blank. No-show means the client did not show up for an appointment that was scheduled. Rejected means the client rejected the enrollment for reasons other than it wouldn't meet their needs. This is a vague category. It's somewhat duplicative of did not meet client needs. And to be honest, it's likely we will be removing this option in the future since it's redundant. And finally, canceled is the client canceled the appointment or the provider did not have the contact with the client for over 90 days. And so that's very different from no-show, because no-show might mean they just didn't show up for the appointment, but they could be engaged in the future. And canceled essentially is that they actively chose not to show up. And even if there are attempts made by the provider to reach out to them again, they have no contact within 90 days. So that's the current list of options for providers receiving court entry referrals. For them, what's nice is when they select this choice, the appropriate HUD CE event referral result is automatically populated. So these are all linked to the appropriate result, I believe, hopefully. I think once you select one, you have to go out to change it, but service provider would have been this. And then, for example, if it doesn't automatically change, you can change it manually to the appropriate one. And then comments here are any notes describing why the client felt they didn't want to enroll, why they were not eligible. So these comments, again, help all of us understand why the result was what it was. So then they would hit finish and they'd be able to record the outcome and the referral result. And they may get an error message. And the main reason they might get an error message is they actually have to select which program or project of their organization they're actually trying to enroll in. This is not something core entry specialists ever have to worry about, but every referral, once it's made to a provider, has to be linked to one of their programs. So we might make a core entry referral to a provider that has 5 different shelter projects. They have to select which one of the 5 this referral outcome and result is linked to, or else we don't have the data we need to report to HUD, which is why that's required. That's not new. Our referral partners have been using this long term, but it may be something we're going to be training more about in case this is what happens when they try to record that outcome. Once they select that project, and I'll choose a fake project, if you will, then they're able to record the result. This is something they can process, and then again, they've already done this, but they fixed that error, and now the referral is submitted. And you can see here it's listed as service provided, successful referral, client accepted. When we then go back to the client dashboard and refresh it, you can see the result has populated, successful referral, client accepted. So that's an overview of how this process works now. We are refining it in 2023 because we're really trying hard to have an outcome recorded for every core entry referral and prepare to submit the best possible and accurate report to HUD for our next core entry annual performance report. So that's the current state of the art for referrals, and I'd be happy to take any questions that might be helpful to clarify for anyone watching the recording of this tutorial. Okay, hearing none, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to turn off the recording. Thank you all for listening, and we will resume the rest of our open office hour for new questions.